Reptiles, reptiles, and more reptiles! These things can bring us joy or be the bane of our nightmares. Most people probably know what classifies as a reptile, but surprisingly, birds fall into the reptile category as well, but we won't go there. One of the qualifications of being a reptile is being a vertebrate. All reptiles have a dorsal hollow nerve cord as their spinal cord, which extends from their cranium. Reptiles are also the second major lineage of amniotes. Amniotes are any animal that grow in a sac and are constantly suspended in a liquid. Amniotes first appeared in the Phanerozoic epoch between 359 and 299 million years ago. Another distinguishing factor of reptiles is their jaws and scales. A reptile's jaw is very unique since the muscles of the jaw go through the jawbone and attach to the upper skull. This is different compared to mammals, since mammals' jaw muscles attach directly to the jawbone. Mammals also have skin or fur as their surface protection. Reptiles, on the other hand, have scales. This gives them more protection from predators that might try to bite the reptile. All reptiles have lungs and lay amniotic eggs. These eggs are comprised of an amnion, which is the sac of fluid the embryo grows in, an allantois, a yolk sac, a chorion to hold all those together, and a shell for protection. One fascinating thing about reptiles is that their sex is determined by the surrounding temperature during development instead of at conception. A higher temperature produces a male, and a lower temperature produces a female. Speaking of temperature, reptiles cannot internally control their own body temperature, classifying them as ectotherms. They have to use external sources, such as sunlight or shade, to change their temperature.
When you think of animals in the past, the first thing that probably comes to mind is dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are reptiles, and they are distant ancestors of many of the reptiles that are around today. There are many types of dinosaurs. They walked on the ground, they flew, they swam, and they were in children's cartoons. Many of today's reptiles are as variable and adaptive as the dinosaurs were, until they got wiped out, that is. First subgroup of reptiles are Lepidoptera, otherwise known as snakes and lizards. Snakes and lizards are in the same branch because they have many similar characteristics. In total, there are 8,900 species of lizards and snakes that are known at this time. That is about 8 species for every student in Lyman Briggs. However, scientists are still discovering new species all the time. This is the blue tree monitor. He was only discovered 14 years ago. One of the similarities between snakes and lizards is their ability to shed skin. Snakes shed their skin in one long connecting piece. When they shed their skin, they slip out of it like pulling a foot out of a sock. Lizard skin comes off in sections, as seen here on this crocodile monitor, a native Australian lizard. One of the major differences between snakes and lizards is the presence of limbs. Most lizards have 4 legs, often small and nimble, allowing them to crawl, climb, and run very quickly. They can also swim, and they use their tail to help propel themselves. The night anole can climb trees very efficiently due to their adhesive toe pads. Snakes do not have any limbs, but it is generally believed that they evolved from a limb species due to their vestigial hip and leg bones. Instead of legs, snakes move by undulating their bodies back and forth. As seen in this video, they often have to lift their heads in order to propel themselves side to side. Even though they don't have legs, they can still burrow, crawl, climb, and some species can swim just like lizards. The green tree python slithers up trees to wait for its prey. Once it is in position, it wiggles its tail to mimic a worm, which attracts dinner. In general, lizards feed mostly on insects, like this Madagascar gecko that eats fruit and honey as well as insects. However, some are herbivores. The beaded lizard is one of only 2 species of venomous lizards. Snakes, on the other hand, are carnivores. They often swallow small mammals, amphibians, and invertebrates whole. The California king snake will even eat other snakes, including rattlesnakes. Some poison their prey, some squeeze them to death, and others just eat them. For instance, the Gaboon viper poisons their prey with teeth that can grow to be 2 inches long. Both lizards and snakes lay eggs. Most species have their offspring through sexual reproduction. However, 6 species of lizards and 1 species of snake reproduce asexually. One of the lizard species is the giant Komodo dragon.
Another species classified as reptiles are Testudinea, which are turtles and tortoises. There are about 320 known species that make up the Testudinea family. What specifies these species as either a turtle or a tortoise is whether or not it lives on land or in water. All turtles and tortoises have shells which are comprised of bony plates that are connected to their ribs and their vertebrae. Since their shell is a direct part of their body, turtles and tortoises can feel through their shells. The main purpose of these shells is to provide them protection. Turtles can withdraw any soft part of their body, such as their head, into their shell. This allows for the turtle to remain safe while they wait for a predator that is trying to bite through their shell to get tired and leave it be. One particular tortoise, the pancake tortoise, has a flat and flexible shell from which it gets its name. This flexible shell allows the tortoise to easily squeeze into crevices, which makes it difficult to prey upon. Even though they have this bonus of outer protection, all turtles and tortoises lack teeth. They do have strong jaws, however, which allows them to eat a carnivorous diet or an herbivorous diet. Turtles are often the ones that are carnivorous, since insects tend to hang around wet areas, and tortoises are usually herbivorous. This alligator snapping turtle, for instance, lures fish by wiggling its tongue to mimic a worm. When the fish gets close enough, the turtle can quickly shut its mouth before the fish can swim away. In order to move around their environment, turtles either walk or swim, and tortoises only walk. For example, the red-eared slider, a social turtle known for the patches of red on the side of its head, slides quickly into water and swims away when frightened. Alligator snapping turtles, on the other hand, live in fresh water, but walk on the bottom of its habitat instead of swimming. There are even some turtles that do not walk at all, since they have modified flippers for limbs. All those with feet and claws can also burrow into the ground to either find food or protection. All turtles and tortoises reproduce the same way. They reproduce sexually and follow a system called oviparous. This is when the mother digs a nest into the ground and deposits her fertilized eggs into the nest. The embryos are nourished by a yolk, and therefore there is little to no parental care from the mother. In order to find a proper nesting ground, mothers often travel a long distance. When hatched, turtles will naturally make their way to the water to begin their aquatic life.
The next branch is Crocodilia. There are 24 living species of crocodiles and alligators. Many live in tropical freshwater or marine environments. One of the things that makes crocodiles and alligators unique is their ability to stay submerged for an extended period of time. This is possible due to adaptations such as eyes on the tops of their heads and nostrils at the ends of their snouts. This also helps them in hunting. Often they will stay hiding in the water until prey come to drink, and then they will jump out of the water and attack. When they capture their prey, they will bite through the body or drown prey before eating. However, since they are such fierce predators, many humans see them as a threat. This results in many species being endangered. The Chinese alligator is very shy and small, but they are on the brink of extinction with only 150 left in the world. They have the ability to walk on land with their forelegs, but they are often found in water environments due to their hunting techniques and the fact that their powerful tails allow them to swim through water at 18 miles per hour, compared to an approximate of 9 miles per hour on land. While crocodiles and alligators are pretty intimidating, they are also the most attentive parents out of all of the reptiles. Most reptiles are oviparous, meaning that the eggs spend little time inside the mother, but for crocs they are very protective of their little ones. As eggs, they are kept in earth-covered nests which are constantly guarded by their parents. Once the young ones begin to vocalize, they are carried to the water to be hatched. As soon as they are hatched, crocs can hunt because they have a fully developed set of teeth and a set of very strong scales that act as armor. But, even though they are fully capable to live on their own, crocodiles can stay with their mother for up to 3 years. Alligators are also gentle mothers. They carefully build their nests and protect them until the eggs are ready to hatch. Once they have hatched, the mother will guide them to the water and watch out for them for at least 2 years. Now, for the most important question that we will answer in this video. What is the difference between alligators and crocodiles? The question can be answered by comparing the skulls. In general, crocodiles have a narrower, more triangular snout than alligators. They also have a lower fourth tooth. Because of these traits, they are lighter and more aerodynamic, which makes it easier for them to catch prey in the water. Alligators use strength to kill their prey, since their heavy heads do not give them much speed or agility.
Overall, reptiles are pretty fascinating, and without them the ecosystem would be in disrepair. They keep the insect balance in check so that you don't have bugs crawling all over your house. They are also some of the most adaptive animals, and they have proven their ability to survive for thousands of years. Therefore, we need to make sure we protect the reptiles. Even though they may be a little frightening and not as furry as mammals, they are still a huge part of the world as we know it. We need them.